ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਪਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਦਿਆਂ ਵੱਖੋ-ਵੱਖ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਲਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦਾ ਲੀਡਰ ਬਣਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ ਫਰੈਂਕ ਬੇਲਿਸ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਲ 2015 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 2019 ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਰਹਿ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਮੌਂਟਰੀਅਲ ਤੋਂ, ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ BC ਦੌਰੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਅੱਜ ਸਰੀ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਜੇਕਰ ਉਹ ਲੀਡਰ ਬਣਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਨੇ, ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਜਿੱਠੇਗਾ, ਹੋਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੁਝ ਮਸਲੇ ਨੇ ਸਿਆਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਲੀਡਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਰੈਂਕ ਬੇਲਿਸ ਨੇ। ਫਰੈਂਕ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ TV. ਨਾਈਸ ਟੂ ਹੈਵ ਯੂ ਹੇਅਰ ਟੁਡੇ।
Thank you for having me, Raj. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. How's it going so far? A big country, lots to travel, huh?
Yeah, normally these races are about 6 months to 12 months.
Okay.
And literally it's compressed into
This is the shortest.
2 weeks. Yeah, so that's made it very, very busy. Let me put it that way.
I know. So what made you run into this race, first of all?
I think that Canada is a wonderful country. I love our country. I think we're blessed to live here. But I see that we're not meeting our full potential. We can do a lot better, Raj. And my background in business, my background in successfully building businesses, and then also helping other young entrepreneurs build their businesses, investing in Canada, I want to see us meet our potential. And that's something I really want to do. And it's going to help all Canadians when we do this.
Okay. First of all, the ex-leader, you can say the current leader, how do you see Justin Trudeau? How do you see his work so far? Well, you have been one of the member parliaments during 2015 to 2019 when you yourself was a member parliament.
So what I'd say is, like, I'm not a historian and I'm not really interested in looking at the past to say this was good, this was bad, but because I think Canadians want to say what's coming for tomorrow. I need help for today and tomorrow. But what I would say is we owe a thank you to Mr. Prime Minister Trudeau, whether you agreed with everything he did or not. He worked very hard for our country for 9+ years.
Do you think he made mistakes?
I think everybody makes mistakes. So
what's the biggest mistake of Trudeau's you see?
Like I said, I'm not really thinking. I know that people love to go back and look at this and that.
The people sometimes they learn from history what not to do, especially what to do and what not to do.
Well, let me answer it in this way, because I'm an optimistic person and I'm a positive person, and I think we need this in the world. So what I would be focusing on going forward is our economy, using my skills to see how to get our finances in order, how to get our immigration policies back where they were. We used to have very strong, good immigration where it's intelligent, controlled. We've lost control of immigration, so we need to fix it. My mom is immigrant. My dad is an immigrant. My business partner, Christian Shaw, he's immigrant, but 15 years old from India. So, and we've been friends and partners for 40 years. So immigration is very good.
Okay.
But we need to get immigration under control. This is the things that I'd like to work on, you know.
Okay. One thing, the most important thing you want to change about immigration?
What I think we need to do is, we used to have a controlled system where we had a certain number. So if I said to you, Raj, can Canada take 100 immigrants a year? You're going to laugh and say, of course we can.
Yeah.
If I say, can we have 100 million? You're going to laugh again and say, of course we can. So we agree it's a number. And I think we need to get back to a controlled situation where we can say we don't want to attack immigrants. Immigrants is very positive. That's my parents, my partner, everything. But we need to have it done intelligently, the right people going to the right places in a way that we can absorb them.
Okay.
So it doesn't hurt our schooling, our hospitals, our housing issues, which all come with the growth of population. So these are the things I think we can control much better in immigration.
And looking at the challenges we have, what's the challenge you see for Canada right now?
Well, obviously, people are very worried about Mr. Trump becoming president. I was surprised to see how worried people are, and I'll tell you why. Because I've dealt with people like Mr. Trump my whole life. I've been doing business with Americans for 35 years, and I've negotiated hundreds of contracts, hundreds of agreements. I've done it with companies, I've done it with individuals, insurance companies, hospitals. Obviously, I'm in the hospital business. And I've also done it with the agencies of the government. The Veterans Affairs Agency, Food and Drug. So I'm used to doing this, and most of the time dealing with Americans, very nice, polite, firm. Every now and then you run into someone like Mr. Trump that's a bit over the top.
Okay.
But I've seen this many times, and I think I want Canadians to know, if I'm Prime Minister, I'm going to protect our jobs, I'm going to protect our households, I'm going to protect our companies, and I'm going to protect our economy.
Okay.
I can do that, and it can be done. So I'd like to get people to know that that's one of the skills that I have.
How do you see your competitors, Mark Carney, Christian Freeland, and others?
Well, I think it's great, first of all, that people have been saying Liberal Party's dying, there's nothing good left and all that. And I don't agree with that at all. I think the Liberal Party is a great party. I've been a Liberal almost 48 years. I've held many different jobs. Part of that was being elected, but before and after I've always been involved. And I think the statement that these people of such quality, high quality, are willing to run for our leadership is a statement of how important our party is, you know.
How are you going to deal with if you become the party's leader and the next candidate, if you win, how are you going to deal with the tariffs, the US tariffs?
So I've just written an article that's going to come out now.
Okay.
Mr. Trump is not going to put tariffs on everything.
That's just a threat?
No, that's just a threat. That's just a threat. He's going to put tariffs on some things, and the only things he's going to put tariffs on...
What's the motive behind this threat?
The motive is very clear, and you need to understand how Mr. Trump got elected. What was the number one issue that got him elected? I'll tell you what it was: immigration. And Americans are very fed up with the immigration from the South, and 1.5 million coming up.
Okay.
So he sends out a tweet saying he's mad with Canada and Mexico. One tweet. But in reality, there's no problem with Canadian border. Americans aren't mad about it. But what Mr. Trump's trying to do, he's trying to create a fake problem so then he can solve it. And he can say to the American people, look, I solved the problem with the border with Canada. There's no problem. But he can't go, I solved the problem. Americans go, I didn't know there was a problem. Because did you know there was a problem?
No.
I didn't know either.
Most of the Americans don't know there was a problem.
You know why they don't know?
Because there isn't one.
Exactly. So I understand negotiations and I understand his game. Now, Mr. Trump actually needs, it's not just that he wants, he has made a big promise to the American people, I'm going to fix your immigration. So they're all worried about the South. They're not worried about here. But he's trying to make this a big problem, big problem, big problem. Then he's going to come in, do a couple of tariffs, and then we're going to say, okay. And we actually want to negotiate. I want to negotiate with him on the border, but not because of the way he wants. We want better controls. We have arms, guns coming up. We need him to work with us to stop the flow of guns coming in, illegal guns. Yeah. This is a real problem. We had Roxham Road in Quebec, people not going south, people coming north. So we actually wanted to negotiate that, and I'm going to negotiate with him fine on that, but I also know his game. And you have to keep in mind, he doesn't care about Canada, plus or minus. He's talking to his American audience. We take it personally, we shouldn't. When you go negotiations, be calm, cool, and let him understand we know what he's doing.
Everyone don't understand business as good as you do, no?
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yeah, that's right. And so I see the game he's playing, and I'll play his game. And at the end, no matter what he says, he's going to say, I won. And I'm going to let you won. Let him say he won. But we're going to get what we want.
That's going to satisfy his ego and the votes.
Exactly.
And maybe
that's his way. And if you know
agenda he's came up with to win this election. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's doing this because if he just went to the American people and said, I fixed border Canada, people go, there was no problem. So he has to make a problem so he can fix a problem.
Okay. So you might have worked with Trudeau's father as well, Mr. Pierre Trudeau? I
have been in speeches with Mr. Pierre Trudeau. I can tell you that he's one of the greatest speakers you're going to see live ever. It was amazing. I've been involved as a young Liberal. I'm not that old, but I was a young Liberal back then. Yeah. That's right, yeah.
And how do you see Mr. Pierre Poilievre?
I think Mr. Poilievre is high in the polls right now because he hasn't been challenged and people haven't called him out, okay? I'm going to give you one example. And I'm going to be I'm a direct guy. I don't like to pretend games. I'm going to tell people, like, Mr. Poilievre says he's going to fix crime. Okay. During the COVID crisis, people don't want to get vaccinated. I respect this, but you can't break the law. I'm in the medical business. I have 2 daughters and a son. We had people blocking an ambulance going to a hospital. Yes. And he's going, cheer them on. Imagine if you're one you love, your wife or your child, your mother is in the ambulance trying to go to hospital. People are blocking because they're mad with Trudeau, and he's going good, breaking our laws. Then he says he's going to get better on the economy trading with the United States. We had people blocking the people driving our trucks to do our business going to the States. And he's cheering them on. We had people in Ottawa park their cars and trucks downtown, honk the horns, disrupt everything. And he's meeting with them. Then he says, look, I'm for law and order. When it suits him. I'm going to say, no. You're either for law and order or you're not. And what you did during a time of crisis is unacceptable. And now you can't say afterwards you're for law and order. So I'm going to be challenging him directly on that.
Amazing. So how do you want to conclude this? We are like out of time now.
Well, I think like what I'd like to everyone to know is that I am the child of immigrants, and I think I represent a new vision for Canada, a vision that is coming up from the ground up, not top down. I'm the French candidate, so I speak French, I speak English, I represent all of Canada, and I am extremely optimistic about Canada. I know people are having a hard time, but I can get the economy working for us. I can get that under control, and I have vision, best healthcare system in the world. This is the things I want to do, just 3 things. I'm going to get the economy going, best healthcare system in the world, and I'm going to go and modernize the government.
Amazing.
This is what it needs.
Thank you so much, Frank, for today.
Well, thank you for having me, Raj.
Thank you so much. ਸੋ ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਰੈਂਕ ਬੇਲਿਸ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜੋਗਰਾਜ ਸਿੰਘ ਕਾਲੂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਆਗਿਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ ਟੀਵੀ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ।